This is the BGG Climbers for the week ending 10/6/2021. If you are interested in seeing the actual list, I'll include the link in the description below. This list is put together every week by Michael Alexander. So let's get into it. We only have a couple below the top 10 that I want to point out. One of them is Search for Planet X. This is a game I haven't played yet. It seems to really, I think, take the alchemists and take it to the core of what's fun, which is the deduction aspect. And it's getting extremely good reviews. This is definitely going to be in the top 100, and I think it's likely to be considered a hit game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we end up starting to see this in Walmart or Target or something, because I think it has a potential for a wide appeal. Another one here is where did it go? Oh yeah, Micro Macro Crime City Full House. This is one we're kind of watching. The new ratings are a little bit lower, but I'm hoping this is going to be the family-friendly Micro Macro that I've been looking for. So let's see. Let's hope that that's the case. Okay, and let's get into the top 10 here. So first one is Ankh. So this is Ankh Gods of Egypt, and this is the latest in the trilogy from Eric Lang of, I guess, big box games, all with mythical or semi-mythical themes. I do think that this one's, after playing a couple times, will probably land above Rising Sun and below Blood Rage. I just think that that's probably where its gameplay is. I don't think it's as approachable as Blood Rage, but I do think the game as a whole is more interesting than Rising Sun. Although Rising Sun does have the advantage in having better looking miniatures. So it's number 10 on Gods of Egypt. Oh yeah, and this one will end up in the top 100, I'm pretty certain about. Number 9 is Tenner's Trail. So this one we talked about a few times before. It's the latest Martin Wallace game. The ratings came down a little bit and then have been going back up. I guess we'll have to wait and see on this one, but I don't think it's likely to hit the top 100 with the start being sub 8. But let's see. That's number 9, Tenner's Trail. Number 8 is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. So we've looked at this one a few times before. This one, the fulfillment in the United States has been going really slowly. I think some people have started to finally get theirs. I mean, it was trickling in. I, for one, am waiting for my copy. The game looks amazing. I do regret not getting more content for it already. And I'm hoping it arrives without any damage or missing pieces, just based on how long the fulfillment's taking. So this one is, I think, going to shoot up. I have a feeling it'll end up in the top 100 even this early, just because it's based on the V Commando system. It's got a good IP, and I think the Kickstarter did really well. The one negative is the post-Kickstarter retail price is enormous, and I don't know, at that price, it's going to get a huge amount of sales post-Kickstarter. V Commandos was much more approachable. Didn't have the big miniatures. I could see them maybe, I don't know what their licensing deal is with Assassin's Creed, but I could see them doing maybe a smaller box version of this in the future. Or maybe another Kickstarter. So anyway, there you have it. That's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. Number 7 is Furnace. So this one got a number of comments down here with people basically saying it's a smaller box game than it looks. I think people were thinking of City of Big Shoulders, but that's just the artwork. I think it's a completely different game. As far as where this one's going to land, I don't think this is going to hit the top 100 either. It'll probably land in the top 500 games. Maybe even lower than that. We'll have to see if it picks up steam. The artwork, I think, is enticing to people. I think the Kickstarter was fairly well received, and it's already got 1,000 ratings, so I would say it's possible it will break the top 500. Number 7, Furnace. Number 6 is War of the Ring 2nd Edition. So this has been trading places with all the other games in this range, like Spirit Island, and I think Great Western Trail is in the same range. And it jumped up 2 spots. So all these games are very tightly knit in this 10 to 13 range. But it moved up back to number 10, and it will probably drop back down to number 12 at some point, just based on the fact that I think Pandemic Legacy Season 0 is eventually going to break into the top 10 at some point. That's number 6, War of the Ring 2nd Edition, which is a great game if you want to try it, or if you haven't. I assume most people have. Number 5 is Korra Rise of an Empire. So this one is a big release. I think people were able to get their hands on it after Gen Con, and the artwork is amazing. It's a redone version of an older game that didn't get as much, I guess, didn't get as wide of a release as something that Yellow is going to put together. This one I think is going to hit. It's probably going to hit the top 500. I think it's going to get a lot of sales. It may get in the top 250, but we'll have to see. Its rating, I think it's been getting kind of a mixed review. Some people haven't liked the dice rolling and haven't liked some of the randomness and how that can determine your actions in this game. I do want to give it a try, but I have a feeling it may be a while till I get this one till I get a chance to try this one out. So that's Korra Rise of an Empire. Number 4 is Unfathomable. So this one is the reprint and skin of Battlestar Galactica, kind of a hidden traitor game that was extremely popular and extremely out of print and extremely expensive for quite a while. But it's back in a probably never out of print format because Arkham Horror, they don't really have the ability to lose the IP. And the reviews for it have been pretty solid, I think. The stuff I read said that this game is basically the base game of Battlestar Galactica, slightly improved, a little bit more streamlined, and the only thing missing from it, I guess, are all the expansions. I haven't played Battlestar Galactica. I will probably grab this at some point just because it's kind of a classic game that everyone points to as a hidden traitor. The one thing is, it is a longer game, although I did read that this one cuts down the time a little bit. So that's good. So this is Unfathomable. Man. And this one will probably hit the top 100. I think with the popularity and the out-of-printness of the BSG, this one will most likely get the sales it needs to hit there. If not, it'll definitely land in the top 200. Number 3 is Street. So this game, I think, is a follow-on to... I don't remember. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. And it was a Kickstarter. One thing I thought was interesting is it used these wooden pieces for money in the Kickstarter, which I think looks good. It has a really, I think, solid look to the game in terms of the artwork, the tiles, the little box, these little for sale signs and stuff. Overall, I think it's a really good looking game as far as people that have played it. So easy to learn. Let's see what the weight is. So it's 2.33. So that's, I think, a solid, lighter mid game. So people really like how it looks, and I guess the fundamentals of the game are good for wooden money. So this person likes the wooden money just like I did. Oh, Villagers, that's what it is. Similar to Villagers. And Villagers is a game that I passed on because I didn't think it had the depth I was looking for. So maybe this one is a game that is worth looking at. It may be a little bit early to guess where this thing's going to end up. I know Villagers got a decent reception. It is starting off a little bit weak for a second Kickstarter, but let's see. It is really good looking, and if it gets a retail release, I think Villagers did. It may bump up on this list. So that's number 3, Street. Number 2, The Great Wall. So this one, if you actually look at it, the ratings are continuing to climb as people get their Kickstarters. I guess fulfillment is, I don't know if it's already all the way done. I, again, regret not backing this. I actually backed it for $1 and decided not to pick it up in the Pledge Manager. So that was an unfortunate circumstance that a game that was kind of looking like it wasn't going to come together did come together, and apparently is extremely good and extremely good looking. And I regret not getting the miniature pledge. I'll just say that much. So maybe they'll reprint it. It's Awakened Realms though, so you never know. They may come up with an expansion and then reprint it with the expansion like they did with Nemesis, which is always possible. As far as where this will land, I think with the positive reviews, it's going to definitely be in the top 200. I think it was a big Kickstarter. Not one of their biggest ones, but it did well. And I think it's probably the Meeple version will get at least some sort of retail release. I think that I would expect that. So if that does, this thing will probably do pretty well. So this is number 2, The Great Wall. And number 1, Marvel United XMen. So this is the latest CMON Marvel United game with even more characters, I think. I think it was even way more characters than the first Marvel United. I kind of wish I had backed this one just because the insane amount of characters, and I love the artistic design of Marvel United. It is a lighter game, and I ended up just picking up the retail version of the first one, but maybe I should have backed this. I mean, the system itself is strong, and it was designed by Eric Lang, if I remember right. One of the designers on here. And I really like how these miniatures look in the game and how the artwork goes together with it. And I understand that it's kind of a lighter weight cooperative game. But man, someone that knows how to paint miniatures better than me. And I don't even think they're that hard to paint because they're mostly just one color. There isn't a lot of like shading or any techniques that you need to use for this, but you can make these things look really good with, I think, minimal artistic ability, I would say, or at least improve it drastically. So, man, I do kind of wish I would have backed this just to get all the miniatures so that maybe one day in the future I would be able to paint them all. Where do I think this is going to land? Probably, I don't know, probably not in the... Well, it could land in the top 100. I don't know if this one's getting a retail release like the first one. It is a collaboration with Spin Master, so maybe it will. I think if it gets a retail release, it has a good shot at getting the top 100 just because Marvel's popular. I think the system is good, and X-Men is is one of the more popular Marvel franchises. So there you have it. That is the BGG Climbers for the week ending 10/6/2021. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe, and please take a look at our other videos. Thank you.